7 underdogs beat the odds with a historic upset for sportsbooks. Some players rise, some fall. So before Sunday, we need wide receiver rankings for Week 3 of the 2024 NFL season. Welcome to E&M Fantasy Football, where I combine industry-leading data, Vegas sportsbooks, and expert analysis to provide you with optimal weekly rankings for the utmost accuracy when setting your weekly lineups in your fantasy football league. I'm writing this on Wednesday night. For Thursday's video, expect more videos every week, like running back yesterday and quarterback and tight ends later in the week. And to start off, the top 40 wide receivers for Week 3, full PPR. CeeDee Lamb, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jay Jettis. These guys are the only ones slated by sportsbooks to go over 85 receiving yards. They are your top 3 wide receivers for Week 3. Let's move along. A tier begins with the other elite wide receivers. Vegas has these wideouts projected for about 70 yards each. At 4, Rashee Rice. 71 over-under for the new Travis Kelce. They face Atlanta in Atlanta, but I don't care. Their secondary is top 10 through Week 2, but they played Pittsburgh and the A.J. Brownless Eagles. Lock them in. At 5, Mike Evans. With 64 projected yards for Week 3, they get the Broncos, who also have one of the best secondaries through the Week 2, but they played the Steelers and the Seahawks. So Baker is going to continue his reign of terror, and the Broncos have 0% chance to stop it. Davante Adams, 67 over-under for Adams. Hats off to Gardner Minshew for getting the ball to his best player. They face the Panthers secondary. Lock him in. Tyreek Hill. I hate to see this for Tyreek with a backup quarterback. He's still projected for 77 yards, but we have to drop him down some given the changes. Nico Collins. What a stud. Every week he asserts his dominance as the number 1 choice for CJ Stroud. And with Mixon going down, I take the over 71 yards. It's likely he'll get a full-blown aerial assault from the Texans, their favorites at Minnesota. At 9, Jamar Chase. Don't click off, all right? Let me explain. Just hold on. It's his last chance, okay? If he's still pouting after Week 3, we will delete him from the ranking headshots and we'll replace him with a clown, okay? All right. At 10, Garrett Wilson with another chance as well. He's projected 65 yards against the dreaded Patriots. They have the 27th worst secondary through Week 2. It's only going to get better with Rodgers and Wilson. Marvin Harrison Jr., 69 over-under. He's still a developing talent. Him and Kyler still have a ton of room to improve the connection, and in no way is that holding him back here. I expect him to move up as the season progresses. Devonta Smith at 12, 73 over-under. Get this. They are underdogs in New Orleans versus the Saints. The total is monstrous, 49.5 points. If A.J. Brown plays, he'll replace Smith in this tier, and I would bump Smith down to the B tier. And for the last guy in this tier, ErvinandM.com. ErvinandM.com is my company my best friend and I started in 2020. We literally make everything ourselves by hand. We have earrings, rings, necklaces, bracelets, tie clips, apparel, and more. Over a dozen curated gemstones and 100 handcrafted products. If you need a gift or something special for yourself, use the promo code in the description, find something you love, and buy it today. Now back to the video. We begin the B tier with more starters, but with some nuances, capping their ceiling. These guys are going for about 60 yards, according to sportsbooks. At 13, Chris Olave. 65 over-under. The total, if you remember, is not the problem at nearly 50 points. The matchup isn't the problem either. He has the potential to finish top 12. The receiving core in New Orleans is just unpredictable. We need consistency. Chris Godwin at 14, 68 over under with Baker and the new offensive coordinator dialing up Godwin, and he's thriving. Evans and Godwin have been elevated this season with these changes. Brandon Ayuk at 15. No Deebo Samuel, and he's still only projected 56 yards. Once again, the weapons and the pace for the Niners limits Ayuk's ceiling. Talent is not the issue. DJ Moore, 62 over-under for the Bears, number 1. The boomer bust kind of begins right about here. Caleb Williams has to tighten up so they can get the most out of their 1,000-yard receiver. 17, DK Metcalf, 60 over-under. This might feel a bit low for DK. If you wanted to put him ahead at the top of this tier, I wouldn't mind it. They get the Tuala's Dolphins in Miami. Scoring total is low at 41 points, though. Expect the pace to be slow in this game. And at 18, Malik Neighbors. With 69 projected yards, he passes the eye test. He's the Giants' best player. Daniel Jones and a one-dimensional offense, though, is holding Malik back. C tier, boomer bust. These wideouts are high volatility. Vegas has this group for about 50 yards. It's starting to get dicey. At 19, Zay Flowers. 55 from Vegas for Flowers. He's the definition of boom or bust through the first 2 games. He'll either get you 91 yards or 37 yards. The targets are consistent. He just doesn't get forced the ball. I don't know what else to say. Stephon Diggs at 20. 46 over-under for the former Bills wide receiver 1, now fighting for CJ's attention with best friend and fellow wideout Tank Dell. Let's go ahead and slot him at 21 and go back-to-back with these 2 Texans. I think these 2 will battle all season as wide receiver 2 and 3 behind Nico. If Diggs gets the red zone touchdowns, he'll have more points. If Tank catches 1 or 2 more go balls, he'll have more points. Amari Cooper at 22. With 54 receiving projected from Vegas, another boom or bust wideout that has the potential to finish top 12, but the quarterback play is decimating his potential. Drake London at 23. 60 over-under for ATL's number 1. Kind of the same story here. Cousins' ability to spread the ball and get through his progressions was previously unknown to the Falcons. He's no longer the first and only look. Couple that with Bijan being elevated to their best player, London finds himself right in the middle of the wide receivers. 24, Jameson Williams, rising up, 55 over-under for the Alabama number 1 pick. He continues to be showcased as a mainstay, and as the season progresses, I expect Ben Johnson to continue to ramp up his usage and rip off the clear-out role label that he's been tagged with. George Pickens, 25. This dude needs to be freed. His over-under is set at 49 yards this week. He's so young and talented, but he's grossly misused and stuck in one of the worst offensive situations in the league. And MPJ at 26. Oh boy. What a devastating fall from ADP. Sportsbooks got him for 50 yards this week. Look, it's not time to abandon ship on MPJ, okay? For the love of God, don't drop him. Anthony Richardson simply has to have more attempts. Nobody's getting home with 20 attempts and less than 50% completion rate. He's the most targeted on the team, okay? Just hang in there. Jalen Waddle. This is a big fall for Waddle, too, this week. He's slated for a decent 66 over-under receiving yards, but he's still behind Hill in backup quarterback. Those concerns slide him down. Terry McLaurin at 28. He's got a 50 over-under receiving for the vet this week. I want to reiterate what I mentioned last week about the new quarterback over there. Jaden Daniels is now Washington's best player, okay? And I'd argue Brian Robinson Jr. is the next best player on their team. Scary Terry and the receiving core are on the back burner for the offensive reorganization. Now it is D tier. We're officially concerned. These guys are your last viable options. They're projected for about 40 yards. They're startable, but you do not feel good about it. Xavier Worthy, 37 over under for the Chiefs' new speed demon. I think that's a bit low, but he will probably rise as weeks progress. But until we see more manufactured touches for him, he'll suffer from Mahomes spreading the ball around. It is what it is. There's a chance it's unavoidable. Rashid Shaheed, 48 over under from Vegas. He's a great player, but you can't have any confidence slotting him over C tier guys or higher. In the past, he was never utilized as a full-time player, but that appears to be changing, I'll admit. If he does it again this week, we'll put him back-to-back with Olave a lot higher up. Calvin Ridley at 31. 50 receiving over-under for the Titans, number 1 from Vegas. The Titans have an implied team total of 16 points. Vegas is telling us this game and this team is going to be horrible. RIP. Brian Thomas Jr. If you want to put BTJ at the top of this tier, I wouldn't mind. He's progressing week to week, but sadly, Trevor and the Jags offense is just stale and sloppy. He's projected for 45 yards. I hope it gets better. He looks great, but Trevor is too inaccurate. JSN at 33. 50 over-under for Njigba. He's finally getting more work and improving his efficiency, but he still plays behind DK and his average QB play on a 500 team that runs the ball first. He has the potential to move up, but you got a lot of production to see before we do that. And we're at the last tier, okay? This is RIP. Borderline unstartable players, okay? Pure desperation as a fill-in until starters return for your team or something. All of these guys are slated for less than 40 yards. Jaden Reed, 34. No love. No love. 32 over-under for the elite wideout. Hang in there. Brandon Cooks, 40 over-under for Dak's second look. He's in danger of losing that role, though, in his rankings position to Jalen Tolbert. Keep a close eye on that situation until next week. I don't know. Khalil Shakur, Keon Coleman. I don't know. 45 over-under for the Bills wide receiver 1. He got 8 targets and 96 yards to start the season. He's the leading receiver. I mean, there's no way that it stays this way. I mean, surely, until Josh Allen dials back hero ball, any wide receiver's position here is just neutered, okay? Like a stray dog picked up by animal control. Deontay Johnson. Don't click off. Hold on, okay? Hear me out. The Red Rocket. The Red Rifle, the Ginger Ninja. Andy Dalton is starting week 3. No. No one is excited for this except devastated Panthers fans and fantasy managers. It makes Johnson worth holding on to, as before this announcement, he was quickly approaching droppable territory. 44 over-under from Vegas. Demarcus Robinson, or Ty Chandler, or whoever you want to put here from the Rams. Look, he's 38th, and at 42 over-under, he's in prime shape to make everyone look like fools and finish top 12, but nobody is betting on that. And if they claim otherwise, show us the receipts. Sorry for yelling. LA is cooked until further notice. Straight up. Jerry Jeudy at 39. With 46 over-under, he rises from the ashes. Steve Smith told him he was just another guy, and Jerry Jeudy is not changing anyone's minds. But with passing down across the league, somebody's got to be 39th. And last and least, Rome Odunze at 40. He's only slated for 35 yards. The Bears are struggling. If DJ Moore is struggling, I mean, not good. Real bad. All bad. All these guys, bad. Not good at all. I'll put your top 40 on the screen for a few moments. Pause and reflect. I sincerely hope this helps everyone watching. Comment below what you think of this week's rankings. Is your team wrecked? Are you 2-0? Let me know. Thank you for your time, and if you want to support the channel so I can keep making videos like these, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see all the videos each week before submitting your lineups. It's free, so it's a good value. And if you want to support me, check out my store, www.ervin.com. I have two passions, fantasy football and small business. We're a two-man show at E&M. We take pride in the quality and craftsmanship of our products. There's no better way to support me than by buying a gift or something special for yourself. Everything is handcrafted from limited stock here in North Carolina by us, with our hands, me and him, okay? We ship anywhere in the U.S. Use the promo code in the description for 10% off. Thanks again if you're still with me. That's the video. See you in the comments in the next video.